The world respects silence more than excuses. You think people respect your words. They don't. They tolerate them. They nod while scrolling past your life. They smile while silently writing you off. Because deep down, every man knows this. The world doesn't bend for talkers. It bows to doers. Excuses are noise. Silence is power. Every excuse you make, no matter how valid, lowers your value in the eyes of the world. Not because people are heartless, but because they're human. We all have pain. We all have disadvantages. We all have stories that could justify quitting. The difference? Some choose to speak about them. Others choose to bleed in silence. One is seeking sympathy. The other is building strength. And here's the brutal truth. The man who suffers quietly gains respect. The man who complains loudly gains pity. And pity is the weakest currency in the marketplace of life. Silence is a weapon. It doesn't mean you never speak. It means you speak less, and mean more. The man who constantly explains himself, constantly defends himself, constantly tells you why he can't win right now, is the man no one fears, no one follows, no one remembers. But the man who says little, and moves with discipline, consistency, and precision, he becomes dangerous. Because the less you speak, the harder you are to predict. The less you explain, the harder you are to manipulate. The less you justify, the more your actions force others to fill the silence with their respect. The trap of constant justification. Look around. Most people live their lives explaining themselves to people who aren't even listening. I didn't have the resources. I'm too tired. I wasn't born into the right family. I'm still healing from what happened years ago. The problem? They think by speaking it out loud, it somehow earns them understanding. But the world isn't handing out understanding, it's handing out results. And results are built in the dark, in the cold, in silence. With no applause. Silence builds mystery, and mystery builds respect. There's a reason the greatest warriors, leaders, and tacticians in history weren't the loudest in the room. Julius Caesar, Marcus Aurelius, Miyamoto Musashi. They spoke only when needed, and when they did, the room went still. Why? Because their words were backed by a track record of action. When they said something, it mattered. When they made a move, it landed like a hammer. A man who speaks less forces others to wonder. What is he thinking? What is he planning? What is he capable of? And that is power. Excuses drain authority. A leader who complains loses his men. A man who complains loses his woman. A warrior who complains loses the battle before it starts. Because the moment you start listing reasons why something can't be done, you've already told the world you've surrendered. Excuses are a public declaration of self-defeat. Silence is a private investment in self-respect. Silence forces you to face yourself. When you stop making excuses out loud, you're forced to hear the raw truth in your own head. No more deflecting. No more if-only stories. Just you, your reality, and the question. Am I doing everything I can? And most men hate that feeling, so they fill the air with noise. They talk about their struggles more than they actually fight them. They confuse venting with progress. But venting doesn't move the needle. Work does. Discipline does. Shutting up and doing the thing does. Women feel the difference. You think a woman respects the man who tells her his dreams over and over? No. She respects the man who quietly disappears for weeks to build them, and comes back stronger. Every word you speak without action chips away at her belief in you. Every silent move you make without complaint builds it. She'll test you. She'll doubt you. She'll push you. But if you meet every challenge without whining, without excuses, without long explanations, she'll feel it. Because masculine energy isn't loud. It's grounded. Silence isn't weakness, it's containment. When you can contain your energy, you can control it. When you control it, you can direct it. When you direct it, you can change everything. Loud men burn their energy on words. Quiet men burn it on results. Think about the storms you've survived. The moments you were in pain, but didn't post about it. Didn't beg for attention. Didn't tell the world how unfair it was. And yet, you made it through. That's your power. That's your proof. You didn't need validation to survive. You just survived. Your silence will speak for you one day. There will come a moment where your results walk into the room before you do. Where your presence tells your story before you open your mouth. Where the people who doubted you, mocked you, or ignored you sit in the back of the room and whisper to each other. I don't know how he did it, but he did. That's what silence does. It lets the work echo louder than your explanations ever could. The final choice. Every day, life gives you two options. 1. Speak your limitations into existence, and keep living them. 2. Shut your mouth, do the work, and let the results speak for you. One will leave you respected. The other will leave you forgotten. So stop telling people your plan. Stop telling them your pain. Stop telling them your excuses. Let them see nothing but the outcome. Let them choke on their curiosity. Let them drown in their questions. Because the truth is simple. The world respects silence more than excuses. And if you understand that, truly understand it, you'll never need to explain yourself again.